Morningside Arena. The two teams making their way out onto court here, and the Leicester Riders captain Kimball Mackenzie. They talked about him at the top, such a great culture guy for the Leicester Riders, but now in the starting lineup, starting point guard, a lot resting on his shoulders to deliver.
And we've seen him deliver, haven't we, over the years, and he's one of the few players as well that has the experience of winning in the British Basketball League. So let's see him lead from the front here this evening.
Kate, Simon Unsworth and Steve Ellis are referees for today's game. We are underway, and it is the London Lions who will get the opening offense of the ball game. Morgan kicked out to Matt Morgan, who had to bail out of that three-point shot. Taylor trying to find some room, a bit strong off the glass, and Mo Walker has an easy rebound.
Well, they didn't convert, Dan, but what you see is the London Lions team sharing the basketball. They gave up a couple good shots there for a great one. Didn't work out, but good, positive start from the London Lions.
Mackenzie working the high screen with Walker. Back to Law. Late in the shot clock now for TJ Law, needs to get it away, and he does for the first score of the game.
Wow, complete contrast there with the offense. Less ball movement. It required an individual brilliance there from Lull, but he delivers. Good start.
Sheni with the handoff to Quealy, of course, grew up in Leicester, so be delighted to be in the starting five, and Morgan knocking down the three.
Well, if London Lions keep moving the basketball the way they're moving, Leicester Riders going to have to play some excellent defense here to stay in striking distance of this very talented London team.
Holmes, a little off balance, can't knock it down. Here's Matt Morgan. Olasheni on the trail. Taylor trying to bounce it through to Gabe Olasheni, but out of bounds.
Yeah, a difficult one to thread the needle there, and we've seen Jordan Taylor throw some miraculous passes over the course of the 2 seasons he's played with the London Lions, but on that occasion, can't quite get it through to his big man, Olasheni.
Well, to hear mention that these teams are 1 and 2 in scoring in the British Basketball League this season. Leicester obviously have taken a chunk out of their offense with their changes, but we'll see whether they can keep that offensive number going. Here's Morgan in the open court, flips it up, and well, 2 Leicester players getting in each other's way there. That'll be a London possession.
Yeah, very rare thing there, Matt Morgan in the open floor. Look, he's a guy who can score anywhere on the floor, but typically when he's in the open floor like that, attacking the defense, he converts. But Kimball Mackenzie, look at that intelligent play there. Doesn't reach, doesn't lean too far into the offensive player, just keeps his hands straight and does enough to prevent him from scoring.
Quealy off the glass is late in Leicester, but the bank is open.
Well, it's a homecoming for the Leicester lad. Quealy opens his account.
Mackenzie, cross court to Thomas, down low to Walker, up against Olasheni. Looking to go to work to the hook. Will he get the roll? Not quite, but he will shoot 2 as the foul goes against the London man.
Well, that's one good outcome of players leaving this roster, is that Mo Walker could play some extended minutes now. Now, he's never been a guy that plays 30-plus minutes a game, but if you get a guy like that comfortable with playing 25 minutes, his production is excellent. A high percentage shooter, as you see down low. When he catches it that low, it's inevitable. He's going to get score. He's going to score or get fouled.
Well, before his injury last year, I thought he was playing some of his best basketball since his first spell in the British Basketball League with Worcester, and he obviously was. They used him in tandem in recent years with Darian Nelson-Henry, the former Riders captain, and 2 very different players. Walker very much brute strength. Here's Morgan driving through. Quealy this time puts it on the floor. Cross to Morgan, fires up the 3. Matt Morgan strings it.
Oh, you see the space in there, the extra pass, and that skip pass finds Matt Morgan, the most deadly player in the British Basketball League, who's nothing but net.
Well, London getting it done from the 3-point line early on as the foul is called against Connor Morgan, who slaps 5 with Thomas to apologize. McKenzie to the rim, can't convert.
That's what can be difficult sometimes playing against this London team. They're so much longer than everyone else in the league.
Well, London have taken 3 two-point shots, missed them all, taken 3 three-point shots and made them all.
Modern day basketball.
Ooh, I'd be interested to see where the feet were on Quealy on that one. As Holmes went to the basket, you've got to be outside the no charge circle. He seemed to be quite deep in real time. Let's see, no contact, is probably just outside. Referee Steve Ellis on the baseline, right on the spot.
Pretty good visibility of that one, didn't he? And a good call.
Morgan round the screen. Taylor now for 3. Well, first missed 3 of the game for the London Lions. Here's Law. Has sort of gone under the radar. Obviously had injury problems. Hasn't played a lot, but looks good when he's out there as Holmes misses the 3. Seems to be like a glue guy on the team, doesn't he? Does a bit of everything. I
agree, and he's one of the few players, one of the few experienced players that they brought in this year, so they would have relied on him heavily, but his absence was sorely missed when the results weren't quite going the Riders' way, so it'll be interesting to see how his effect now of him being back is on this team.
Here's McKenzie. Out to Holmes. Holmes floats one up. Doesn't quite get the roll, but does get his own rebound. Gets his man in the air, but can't convert. Forward to Taylor. Taylor lobs it up, but good hand from Law to deflect that. There's Law running the other way. That's going to be a foul on Connor Morgan, and that's going to be his 2nd personal foul.
Wow. Well, this should have been a conversion down the other end of the floor, but instead it's the Leicester Riders running the ball back down, offensive transition in a matter of seconds, and Connor Morgan here picking up his 2nd foul.
Well, they'll be pleased to see him go to the bench, given how well he played against them in the previous meeting here at the Morningside Arena. A couple of early fouls, though, has curtailed his initial addition to the game.
But this is a good start for Lowe. You know, of course, he's been in and out for injury. He hasn't really been one of those players who's been able to consistently perform due to his health. But him being a more experienced player, other players will look to him as well. Now, again, this is still a Riders team where experience in the British Basketball League is limited. So players like him can really have a positive effect on everyone else.
Quealy. Out to Grantham, who was the man who came into the game for Connor Morgan. Quealy forcing his way to the rim. The basket will count. He'll go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Great job there from Quealy. You see him casually get into the heart of that defense and then that quick acceleration. And he has that length to finish. And a great story for him as well. He out all season last year with a knee injury, and he's able to return. And of course, a lot of his junior basketball was played in Leicester as well. Leicester Warriors, who play in NBL Division 1, so the league below the British Basketball League. And now it's full circle. He's back home, but playing for the opposition.
Well, he is, yeah. And starting to build up his minutes in recent weeks as well. It's good to see. Here's Holmes. At the elbow, that tip nearly goes in for Law. He was fouled on the rebound. Walker's initial shot off the mark, and it's Jordan Taylor who's called for his first foul of the game. Well, the one thing that Leicester don't really have, well, they seem to be mid-changes because they've obviously let guys go and not fully replaced. They have got Session Russell come in. Is that not a shooting foul? Rob Paternostro, like me, thought that was he tipped it in. So he tipped it towards the basket. I'm not sure how that isn't a shooting foul.
Agreed.
But it isn't. It's an end-line ball. Here's McKenzie. From the elbow. That's a bread and butter shot from Kimball McKenzie, but doesn't drop that time.
It is. You'll see him come off that screen and he'll try and wedge himself in between the two defenders there to create space. Good hands from Mo Walker here.
Excellent hands from Mo Walker to steal that away. Olaseni had a great game in the previous meeting here as well. So they'll be trying to keep him quiet. Here's a deep three from Connor Washington, all string. He's a 40% career three-point shooter. You've got to get out to him.
And it's great to see him back on court as well. Plagued with injuries all last year. He's someone who I've won championships with. He's that player who pressure, he thrives on pressure. You just see him coming off the bench, providing instant offense for this Riders team.
Grantham goes it alone, leaves it short. Washington with the rebound. Washington surveying his options. Knocked away from him, and that will go out of bounds. And there's 3:53 on the clock here in Leicester. London leading this one by 3 points. A timeout has been called on the floor, so we will be right back after this. Welcome back to Leicester. Connor Washington's played over 300 games in the British Basketball League, and there are only 16 guys in the history of the game that have a better three-point shooting percentage than him. And so often, in big games, he stands up and knocks down important shots for Leicester.
Yeah, and he's done it time and time again in his 11th season with the Leicester Riders, and he's won 14 pieces of silverware throughout his British Basketball League career. So a guy who has winning in his blood.
Thomas fighting his way through, and that is going to be the first contribution in the game for Sam Dekker. Call for a foul that will send Thomas to the line.
Well, we talk about it, don't we? You know, when rookies come into the British Basketball League, you never really know if the college success in America is going to translate, but I think it's safe to say Myron Thomas is someone who's shown consistently that he can put up numbers in this league, but his energy is impactful and infectious on this team. Some big games already this year.
He makes the second free throw. We're talking about all the offense that these two teams have put up so far this season. Just 20 points between them in the first 6.5 minutes here.
Yep, number 1 and 2 in the league.
Yeah.
93 points per game than the Lions boast.
Nice pass. It's Dekker's first shot of the game. It rims out. McKenzie gets the rebound.
Wow, Sam Dekker open in the corner.
Here's Washington again. Count it. Connor Washington, second three of the game. Leicester ahead.
Washington showing us all his experience there as he clobbers into Matt Morgan. Will be called for the blocking foul here, but such an asset off the bench is Connor Washington. Oh, goodness, yeah. One of those ones where hurts both players. And look how deep this is. And it's one of those things as well, Dan. You see a player high on confidence. He shot the ball before he's really caught it. There's one thing on his mind, and that's the bottom of the net.
Here's Sharma, and slap down there from Thomas. I think he'd done a good job initially with his hand straight up, but as soon as you go down at the ball like that, you're more likely to commit a foul, and Sharma was in a difficult spot, so he's helped him out by fouling him.
Everyone wants to block the shot blocker, Dan.
Yeah, it's true.
Josh Sharma leading the league in blocks per game, 1.6, and Miran Thomas, a guy that plays above the rim as well, and saw an opportunity there and just couldn't quite hold back. As you say, Dan, he did the hard part. His positioning was there. If he just stayed straight up, it would have made things difficult for Josh Sharma, but he reaches down and the referee calls the foul.
Well, he's missed both free throws, so he can't bring to an end this 7-0 run by Leicester. Here's McKenzie. Pass just got to Washington, who fires up another one. Three-pointers for Connor Washington.
Wow, 9 quick points, an injection of energy off the bench, which has turned this game on its head.
Decker driving in, and that will go. The referees are going to talk to each other here. Which way is that, an offense or defensive foul? London trying to end this 10-0 run. Foul goes against the Leicester player, much to the ire of the home fans and definitely of the home coach.
I always think when it takes that long, it's going to go against the defense. I think it needs to be obvious, clear for it to be an offensive foul. And the thing that's difficult for Myron Thomas there is that he picked up the first foul in trying to block Josh Sharma. In this one now, his second foul will mean that he's going to have to spend some extended minutes here in the first half on the bench.
Well, we talked about the lack of depth, but they've got 2 guys now on 2 fouls, with Holmes and Thomas both on the bench. So their relatively short bench will have to deliver here. We've been talking about Leicester's bench strength all season, how they've come into games and turned it around. Of course, half of them are in the starting lineup now, so it turns it around a bit. Here's McKenzie off the glass. There's a Dowu to tip it home.
Good follow there from Samuel Dowu. And on the other side of the floor as well, Dan, yes, Thomas picked up his second foul, but what I wouldn't want Sam Decker seeing the ball go through the hoop. He's had 2 free throws there, which, again, remember, as good as he is, he's still a human being coming back from injury. So when you score the ball, that could ignite a whole lot of other points.
Well, 2 more there for Phillip as he takes it to the basket.
Tyreek Phillip having a superb season as well, and you forget he's been out for injury as well, and just because of the strength of this roster, Tyreek Phillip is someone you have to account for.
Well, Russell, who's the Leicester's recent addition, guarding Sam Decker. All good hands from Washington, but it ends up with Nelson. Sharma bobbled it, kicked out to the corner. Grantham, tough shot, but he strings it.
Wow, and Dante Grantham was one of the players who had a good game in game 1 in this very fixture.
It's kind of under the radar game, wasn't it? But you look at the stat sheet at the end and he filled it. Here's Washington to the hole this time, trying to avoid the shot blocker, but cannot convert.
A credit to Josh Sharma there. He won't get accredited for the block. And there you go, Sam Decker. How many times did we see that? The dribble into the center, but then the spin back to his left hand for the finish. 4 points personal for him now.
Oh, thrown into the crowd by Josh Sharma.
Josh Sharma, he does not discriminate who he blocks. He'll block the smallest or the biggest player on the court. And that one goes straight into the Leicester Riders stands. Wow.
Well, you can see McKenzie flipped it up high to try and avoid it. There's a foul called off the ball on Phillip as he bumped into McKenzie. Well, Leicester are over the limit, so Kimball McKenzie will go to the free throw line. First of 2 free throws for him. He's almost at the minimum. Oh, a missed free throw. I was about to say almost at the minimum qualification for all-time free throw shooting percentage. Got a career average of 87.7, which is on pace for second. He was on pace for first for a while, but he's missed a few this year. And we've just seen him miss one there. He was 90% from the free throw line last year. Here's Phillip into the key, throws it up off the glass. Sharma trying to get the rebound. McKenzie comes away with it. Here's Russell to the free throw line, and he knocks down the shot.
Good decision there from Russell. He had players running with him, but he decided to pull up there. Mid-range jump shot, looked comfortable in doing so.
Well, it's the first point since his return for Russell. Here's Sharma, and it's slapped away by Adowu, who didn't think he caught the wrist, but the referee did.
Wow, by his reaction, I think. Let's have a look at this one. Good pass here. Penetration pass from Tariq Phillip. And one of those ones, I don't know, damn. I would feel hard done by if I was Adowu also.
Well, Sharma having his struggles from the free throw line here today. 3 attempts, 3 misses. The fourth one goes in. 0.7 of a second. Leicester will heave it. I'm not sure it was off in time, but it was over the top anyway. Well, tight first quarter here in Leicester. The scores level at 20. Connor Washington doing a great job off the bench. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. Welcome back to the Morningside Arena, where the scores are level after the opening quarter. Leicester will get the first possession of the second. Victor Nduku with the ball, hands it off to McKenzie. Nduku putting it on the floor, but just losing the handle out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover.
Poor offense there from the Leicester Riders. Lack of movement, over-dribbling, and there was a mismatch down low where Samuel Adowu was screaming for the ball, but it was missed. Results in a turnover. Not a good start to the second quarter.
Well, they've got 3 guys out there who a couple of weeks ago weren't really playing much minutes, but they've got to make it work now. Is off the mark. Russell with the rebound. Down towards Nduku, but Taylor read that pass. Here's Quealy running it back and laying it in for an easy score.
Nice finish from Quealy, and it's the missing of the pass, the play before. You force it the next play down, and that results in a turnover. So, again, a bit of a shaky start, and you alluded to it as well, Dan. Talent is one thing. Team chemistry often trumps talent, and this is a team, the Riders team, that haven't played together. This is a unit that hasn't played together much at all. So, really lacking there in team chemistry.
Just a bit late in starting the shot clock, which is why the referee stopped the play, so they can correct it to the right time. Rob Paternostro with his assistants either side of him. It's obviously a challenge for him at the minute, because not only will he be thinking about the games at the weekend, and they go to Cheshire again on Saturday, but he's also presumably looking at who he might be recruiting to fill the gaps in his roster.
Yeah, and then he's got to somehow fit us and our team in the commentary on his schedule as well. So you're right, Dan, there's a lot on his plate. But boy, is he good at all of those things you listed. And, you know, there's no coincidence why he's won so much at this organization. He's turned it from being a trying organization to being one of the strongest in the nation.
Washington fakes the three, takes the three, but he misses. Rebound McKenzie. Adowu inside, and Nduku's in the right place to tip it home.
Adowu's shot there kind of distracted Sharma into challenging it, and Nduku, right place, right time, nice finish.
There's a foul, it's called blocking foul going against McKenzie. Those were Nduku's first points of the season as well. McKenzie, well, he's stationary, but it's whether he's directly in line or he's just sort of side on. I think Rob Paternostro had a different view to the referee on that one.
We've had a lot of these block charge controversials already today. Just 11 and a half minutes into the game.
Well, the other thing is he will know that they can ill afford anybody else to get into foul trouble here, with Thomas and Holmes already on the bench. And presumably he's going to have to roll the dice on those two players at some point soon. London up 2, minute and a half into the second quarter. Nduku. Back to Russell. Putting it on the floor, driving hard to the hole, can't finish. Good hands from McKenzie, just can't quite get hold of it though, loses it out of bounds. Mo Walker back into the game.
Well, look to establish him in the post now and have a presence inside. At the moment, they haven't really, since he's been out of the game, they haven't had a presence in there where they can put the ball inside to.
Well, in the other game, Newcastle leading Surrey by 2 at half-time. Just some discussion between the officials as to how much time should be on the shot clock. It's whether McKenzie gained control of the possession or not. If he did and then loses it out of bounds as a turnover, then it'll be 14 seconds. If he didn't, then it'll be whatever was on the shot clock before that, which obviously, as it's got 17 on, was 17. So the referee's deeming that McKenzie deflected it, but never had full control of the ball.
Yeah, the right call. He didn't have control. It ricocheted out of bounds.
But London gained a few seconds as a result of it, and Quealy's shot is off the mark. Sharma with the rebound. Now they get a 14-second shot clock, and they don't really need it because Sharma goes straight to work.
Oh, nice decision there from Sharma. Good energy there to grab the offensive rebound, but you see him survey his options. He elected that he was the best option, and he scored.
Well, pass not really finding Walker, but Leicester still have it. And that's going to be a foul on Quealy as Mackenzie goes to the basket. He thought he got the block. There looked to be a lot of contact. He might have got some clean ball up top, but there looked a lot of contact as Mackenzie hit the deck.
Yeah, I agree. Good pump fake from Mackenzie initially to get Josh Sharma off his feet, and here we go, here it is, and Quealy goes strong. Yeah, I don't know, it looked pretty good.
It's because you're looking at the ball, you're not looking at the body. These shot blockers, they only see one thing, don't they?
Well, Quealy is certainly repaying his coach's trust.
Oh, Mackenzie's missed again. I've been trailing him that when he gets to the minimum criteria, he's going to be #1. He's dropping down the charts with all these misses on the free throw line. Here's Grantham for 3, and he knocks it down, and London's starting to edge away here in the second quarter.
Dante Grantham will just pop out of nowhere just to remind you how good he is.
Well, Mackenzie is very good at that sort of 15, 16-foot shot.
That was I'm angry I missed my free throws kind of shot, wasn't it?
It was.
Are you telling him these milestones, by the way, Dan?
I've not told him it.
Okay.
I've not told. Whether he's listening, I don't know. Here's Nelson off the mark, and there's a foul called on the rebound. No Walker call for the offence. Lowell returns. So we still haven't seen Thomas or Holmes since they got this. Oh, they've lost Grantham. What's he waiting for? Go up and jam it down.
Well, it was a simple back screen there, and Grantham cuts to the ball. A bad defense, you know, defense has to show more resistance than that. But Grantham won't complain. He'll say thank you very much for an easy 2.
Well, Rob Paternoster with a timeout here early in the second quarter at 6:44 to go, and his team down by 6. It hasn't got beyond that yet, but they obviously had the injection of Connor Washington off the bench in the first half when they got down 6, so they need some sort of life back at the offensive end here in the second quarter. They haven't quite looked as fluid. Let's have a look at the games going on this weekend in the British Basketball League. Bristol Flyers desperately need a win. Can their home crowd see them over the line against the Sheffield Sharks? That one is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Then on Sunday, London taking on the Caledonia Gladiators. 3 p.m. tip-off that one at the Copper Box. And then Leicester in action as well on Sunday. Cheshire Phoenix looking to go 3-0 against Leicester this season. They've won here, they won at home, and they're trying to do it again. They're off to a tremendous start to the season, the Phoenix. They look like the second best team in the league right now, and they'll be looking to maintain that position. Walker to inbound. London showing full court pressure, but not really playing any. Washington out to Walker. He does shoot the odd 3. Didn't take it that time. Russell gets to the free throw line. Little pull up again. He's off the back of the iron. Couldn't get the friendly bounce. Walker with the offensive rebound, but Nelson knocks it away from him.
Wow, Mo Walker's done so well to get the offensive rebound, but good active hands there from the Lions.
Here's Taylor. Back to Grantham, room for the 3. Off the mark, easy rebound for Lowell. Lowell with the spin, keeps going. Forced back out by the threat of Sharma.
Just changes the game, doesn't he? Josh Sharma without even blocking shots.
He blocks it. No, it's not. It's foul. Foul is on Quealy.
That'll be Quealy's second foul.
Well, that brings Connor Morgan back into the game. We talked about the Leicester players on 2 fouls. He was very early in the game on 2 fouls for London. Russell went through the Charnwood Academy program, which is linked to the Leicester Riders. Went off to university in Florida, where he played for a former Leicester Riders head coach, Billy Mims. Won the double in 2001 with the Riders. Of course, famously won the league a couple of times with the Leopards. He started the season in Germany, but has now come back to Leicester. Is Morgan fouled for 3, and it will go. Connor Morgan with a chance for a 4-point play.
Well, his professionalism and mental resolve is something quite rare. He hasn't featured much in this game, but he stayed locked in. As soon as he comes back in the game, he's able to influence it for a potential 4-point play. Look at that pump fake, gets a defender in the air, has a little tap there. What it looks like on the arm, but it doesn't matter. His focus is on the rim.
Even more worrying for Leicester, as that's the 3rd foul on Holmes. He'd only just come back into the game, and he's immediately picked up his 3rd, which was the outcome Rob Paternostro was trying to avoid, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, Jaron Holmes at the moment 0 for 4. He's their leading scorer, averages 14 points per game. So, as you say, Dan, he's going to be removed from the scenario here, and you just hope he has the mental fortitude to stay locked into this game, because the Leicester Riders are going to need his production offensively.
Well, Russell calling the plays. I don't think that's happened yet this season. Here's Law along the baseline, under pressure, off the glass, too strong, it's up in the air. Law gets it back. Well, they didn't reset the shot clock because he didn't hit the ring. He saw it and got it away in time, but he couldn't convert.
Riders really struggling to score the ball in this second quarter, just 7 points so far, and again, this is a team that average over 90 points per game.
But I would imagine that the 5 on court probably don't even average 19 points a game this season combined.
No, and that's the thing, you know, the 3 players, you know, that have now left the club, Asprey, Pinson, and Braden Bridges combined, they average 28.7 points per game, so massive chunk of the offense have gone there.
Well, timeout in the game. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Leicester, where Rob Paternostro and his team have some work to do. He's shuffled the lineup here, and a little bit more offense out there with McKenzie into the game. That lineup that was on before that's going to be a blocking foul against McKenzie, and he cannot believe another one's gone against him, and that's going to be the second one. So now they've got McKenzie and Thomas on 2 and Holmes on 3.
Well, the thing with there is Tariq Phillip did drop his shoulder, and ordinarily when players do that, it's Tariq Phillip the one initiating the contact. I think the referees have got that one wrong.
So did Mackenzie, as Morgan comes off the curl to knock down the long two, I think it was.
Oh, he's so good, Connor Morgan. And that just goes to show he's an ultimate professional and that he can just come back into a game and turn it on.
Well, miscommunication there. Mackenzie throws it out of bounds.
A difficult period of the game here for Riders, just 7 points in this second quarter. They look out of sync, and the problem is they're not able to get stops down the other end of the floor. So if this theme continues, all I can see is a growing London Lions lead.
Decker taking it inside, and he is fouled, and he will shoot two, and that's now Mo Walker, I think, joining the club with Leicester on 2 fouls. And we talked about their bench. Blake Bowman's been out injured in recent weeks. He has suited up for the last 2 games, but he hasn't entered either of them, which suggests he's not quite ready for it.
Well, this will all be good signs for all London Lions fans. Sam Decker, the British Basketball League 2022 MVP, most valuable player. And this is a player who boasts arguably the most impressive resume, having played with Houston Rockets, LA Clippers, Cleveland Cavaliers, Washington Wizards. We've seen him put in some superstar performances on British shores.
Here's Mackenzie, out to Thomas. Thomas almost lost the ball there. Almost had his pocket picked, somehow still has it. Walker, a couple of pump fakes, and he's able to get 2 much-needed points on the board for Leicester.
Well, Mo Walker cleans that up, but that was not a crisp offense by any means from the Leicester Riders, who continue to struggle on that end of the floor.
Here's Decker stepping back for 3. Got it, Sam Decker all string.
And that's the fear that Sam Decker can bring to the opposing team, is the ability to create for himself. And as I say, those free throws, that can just ignite an offensive surge from a player, and especially a player of Decker's caliber. You do not want him to get hot.
Thomas off the mark. Leicester needs somebody to get hot. Washington, who did it in the first quarter, comes away with the ball. Lawal open for 3. Back iron. Thomas gets the rebound, and there's a foul on that as well.
And that's a shot Lowell has to make. It's a good push there in transition by Connor Washington, the point guard, orchestrating things like a quarterback, gets his shooting guard an open look, but can't quite knock it down.
Well, 2.5 minutes away from halftime to here down in the studio. What have you got for us?
Well, Dan, we're looking at this match and thinking about how we can break it down. Ovi, what are we going to be talking about at halftime?
Going to be looking at the star-studded London lineup. You know, they've got guys across the board who can do so many things. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look at that.
Z, what are you going to be honing in on?
And I'm going to talk about Washington's 3-point shooting.
Well, that's what you can hear at halftime, the preview and analysis. Make sure you don't go anywhere as soon as we get to that point of the match.
Looking forward to that. It's always worth rewatching Connor Washington's threes. They're always so clean looking. So we'll see that again at halftime. Here's Mackenzie. Leicester could do with one now. He fires up the 3. That's off the mark. Adowu trying to force it home. Misses the second attempt. Lawal still has it. And he's fouled by Olaseni. I'm not sure how he can argue that, as his arms went straight down. It looked a pretty straightforward call there. And Olaseni's still arguing the case.
Yeah, Olaseni hasn't been able to get into this game yet. He's just coming off a monstrous 21-point game in the Euro Cup win on Wednesday, and you can see though the reach down, the reach over. It's a foul.
Well, his arms definitely weren't straight up, so again, I'm not quite sure why he was so irate about that one. Looked an easy call. He's done well to avoid a technical, to be honest with you, given his complaints afterwards.
Well, Olasheni's having a remarkable British Basketball League season so far. 12.6 points per game, 6 rebounds. So far, he's on 0 points and
3 fouls. So it's a good job he did avoid a technical, because he wouldn't want 4 in the first half.
nope.
If you remember the previous meeting between these two teams, it was his free throws, really, in the third quarter that got London going, but Conor Morgan finding room along the baseline for an easy 2.
12 points personal now for Conor Morgan, who leads all scorers. And he's done it in such an efficient manner. Perfect from the floor.
McKenzie. Oh, Lowell, I think, thought he was going to shoot, so was running for the baseline in case there was a miss. Well, Surrey leading Newcastle by 3 early in the second half up at the VMA. Well, that would be quite a victory for the Scorchers. They did win up there last year, of course. Nice pass. Morgan inside, and he continues his perfect shooting night.
Goodness me. Such a simplistic entry pass down low, and Conor Morgan, the soft finish.
Dowu for 3. Again, those are the ones that, when you've only got 31 points, you need the open ones to go in.
Well, Riders are 3 for 9 now from the 3-point line, and Connor Washington's the only player in the Riders jersey to make a 3.
The Riders are 0 for 6. Connor Washington is 3 for 3. Here's Morgan. Well, it takes a long time to think about it. Why not? Make sure it looks nice as it drops down in the corner for another 3.
That is unbelievable how much time and space the leading scorer of this evening has, and the smile on the faces will show you that they're perhaps only in third gear. Look at this. Olasheni already knew it went in too.
I think the only person who could have blocked him there was Sam Decker.
Leicester Riders in a very difficult period at the moment, and you see how it translates as well when a team is struggling offensively. That can have a negative effect on the defensive end. Leicester Riders only scored 11 points this quarter, and they've conceded 27 points so far.
30 now when you count that last
30, sorry. So even more so leakage there on the other end of the floor.
And again, it's Morgan who sort of torched them in the first game as well with his shooting. And well, London looking very, very comfortable now. And as you say, it's the worst of all worlds for Leicester, with not enough offense and even more gaps in the defense at the other end. Conor Morgan, an excellent performance in the midweek in Europe, and he's just carrying it on here. 6 of 6, 17 points off 6 shots is an incredible return.
Well, he's an experienced player, and talking of experienced players, Riders are going to have to lean on theirs now.
And there is the other Conor doing the business at the opposite end of the floor. He's made 4 now.
He just seemed to reset the offense himself, take it out from beyond the perimeter and knock it down. His 4th three-pointer.
Morgan trying to feed Sharma, but it's turned over. Nice pass, and Thomas with the two-handed throwdown.
Yeah, good push there from Lolland. Myron Thomas had already ran the floor. Nice space there on the baseline for the jam.
Well, there ought to be enough of a differential between shot and game clock for Leicester to get one back here. But Nelson is going to try and run the time down as much as he can. Now he goes, broken up. Comes down to Decker. Decker gets it onto Sharma, and Sharma jams it in. There's still a few seconds here if Leicester are quick. Lowell has it. Lowell, well, Morgan ran right across his path to make it difficult, but a dominant second quarter by the London Lions has seen them explode out into a double-figure lead, led by 17 points from Connor Morgan, and Coach Bojic will be delighted as he heads off to the locker room, Ant.
I think so, and you know, he's got it from various different avenues as well, but no more so than Conor Morgan, the experienced player as well. I mean, this is a guy they brought in with that experience in Spain, Poland. He's a Canadian international, so just showing us, his level of skill right now.
Well, the London Lions were level pecking for a while, but they've taken control of this game. Let's get some reaction. Sam Decker is with Drew.
Sam, tied up in the first half, but a dominant second quarter. What adjustments were made in the second?
I think just turning up the volume in terms of our pace. Leicester, they like sometimes slowing the game down against us. They do a good job of that. So at the end of the first, we said, we're playing a little too slow. Even if they score, let's bring it up. Let's go. And we have so much talent that we can exploit defenses doing that. So I think it was just a matter of pace and tempo, and the game opened up for us.
And you missed a lot of time this season. How were you able to find your rhythm in that half?
Just being aggressive, I guess. Looking for opportunities early. That's the thing as a player. Like, I haven't played that much since last March, right? I've spent 7 months. I've only played like 7 games in that time frame, so it's gonna take some time. But feeling good. The guys have been super cool and bringing me back in and finding positions for me to be successful.
Thanks for seeing you back. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Drew. Sam Decker giving us a post-game interview at halftime. We'll take it. Well, we'll be back at halftime with more analysis right after this. Welcome back, British Basketball League action, tale of the half. And let me tell you, it's not been pretty for the Leicester Riders. You see the score, 36-52. Ovi, how's this game unfolding?
I mean, Leicester Riders, I thought they came out well. They started with a lot of energy. Obviously, it was an up-and-down game. I felt like both teams were struggling to find any luck in the paint. But as you can see, the London Lions and the talent, which we're going to get a little bit into just in a little while, just sort of started to take over. There's such a deep roster. They have such a deep bench. I mean, they're just a load to handle.
Let's talk about the stats here, Z, on the screen right now.
Yeah, I'm going to pick two things out before we get into percentages. Is the turnovers for Leicester, 8-3, and London Lions have capitalised on that. But they're doing a wonderful job on the rebounding end. 28 rebounds for them that they're doing really well in. Can they do better? I think so.
They missed a lot of second chance opportunities
Yes.
in that one. But Ovi, let's talk about quality, because sometimes when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade.
100%. I mean, you know, the London Lions, we know they're an absolutely stacked team. They've got NBA talent. They've got EuroLeague talent. They've got guys that have played all over the world. And now we are seeing this sort of in front of our very own eyes. This was the first clip I want you guys to look at. I feel like they stumbled. If you could just rewind it a little bit. I don't think Rob would mind if the Leicester Riders are able to play defense like this. As he comes off the screen, I feel like Connor does an absolutely great job making him bobble the ball. Here we go. You know, fumbles the ball. Luke gets into the paint. Big man bobbles it. And here it looks like the possession is over. But then at the end, all we see is talent sort of shining through. And this is the story with the London Lions. You know, you can play as well as you want, but at some point, their talent just seems to take over. Here, you've got Sam Decker, who is 6'9", spin move to the basket, but they have talent on both ends of the floor. You know, any other team, rewind that to that last play. We were talking about Josh Sharma just before the game, and he jumps like a pogo stick. He makes absolutely highlight plays on both ends of the floor. And any other team, this may be a basket or a foul, but Josh Sharma able to play above the rim and send that one into the first row.
Well, yeah, Grantham finishing off the two-handed dunk inside. Quality is all over the floor for the London Lions. Tariq Phillip, traffic, he's guiding it here, Zania, as well.
Yeah, I think Ovi made a great point there. I thought the Riders did a wonderful job on the defensive end, but London Lions just full of energy. And I like what Sam Decker said. We had to turn it up a notch. We had to come into a fifth gear, and I think they've really done that.
And I think what you see here with the London Lions, with all of that talent, they share the ball so well. You know, they've got 14 assists in the first half. Here you got Sam Decker again making a huge play. And when you couple up them being able to share the ball and then that talent level, I mean, they're just a very, very difficult team to beat. I don't know how Newcastle done it last time out.
Well, they were tied, London Lions. They're not tied anymore. One shining light for the Riders, the only player in double digits, 4 for 5 from downtown, Connor Washington.
Yeah, Washington really getting into his rhythm, but he's playing with sheer confidence. Here he just walks right in, hands off, and then comes back. And look, nobody's guarding him. Grantham, you better show a hand, you better come out. But you're right, he has been the spark for them. 4 from 5, started off early in their offense. And I just think he's playing with sheer confidence. Has lost the hairband, but he's got fresh braids, and I love that for him. But I think they've got to guard him.
Well, he is not the better Connor on the night, not at all at halftime.
Yep.
Around 9 minutes played, Connor Morgan, 17 points, electrifying.
Yeah, well, he started off with foul trouble, right? He got those 2 early fouls in the first quarter, so he had to come off. But then he comes on here, hits bucket after bucket. And you're right, he was 4 from 4, 17 points, doing it all in such little time. And he's playing with sheer confidence, was player of the game in the Euro Cup, and now just coming into his own. And the guys really looked for him early and often.
What I love about this guy, I mean, you know, he started off the season maybe a little bit slower. There was a lot of guys getting a lot of love on this London Lions team, but he's a pro's pro. He's played in Spain. He's played at an extremely high level, so he's always ready when his number gets called. And I think at this part of the season in particular, we're sort of starting to see that confidence and that ability to stay ready, sort of play out before our eyes.
That last three-pointer, by the way, nasty. Right.
That was cheeky, cheeky.
We'll be back with more right after this break. British Basketball League action live on Sky Sports and across the USA. Now it's time for a sneak behind the scenes with London Lion Jordan Taylor. He joined Jeanette and Ovi in the studio a couple of weeks ago.
These two absolute ballers, welcome basketball resident expert, Ovi Soko. Also welcome to you, Jordan Taylor, current London Lion as well.
3, 2, 1, Jordan.
Today I got to come in and do the live studio show, Newcastle versus Plymouth for the British Basketball League.
I've been looking forward to you, Jordan.
Quick answer. Got to work with Jeanette, who's amazing. My first time getting to work with her, as well as my guy, Ovi.
Personally, go for a Popeyes.
I think this side you get to show your personality even more, especially when you got, again, two great personalities in Jeanette and Ovi. You get to have a lot of fun with it.
Drops him just to scream, ain't nothing over there. And then drops it around the big fella. That's pretty.
Here you're kind of like a fan who gets the camera cuts to you and you get to give your 2 cents. So it's fun.
Second half on both ends of the floor as well, you know.
Talking basketball is talking stuff. That's what I do anyway. My teammates will tell you that's all I do.
Go get Luke, go get Luke, go get Luke. Whatever you do, I do.
Whether it's NBA, British Basketball League, Euro Cup, Euro League, whatever. I talk basketball, so to be able to do it on camera and broadcast it to the UK and to parts of the States is really, it's amazing.
Thank you very much, Jordan, Ovi, and we'll see you guys next week.
Sharing all our secrets, Azania. They know that this is not real behind us now, Z, but it's not all fun and games like that, is it?
Yeah, well, I think it is a lot of preparation. We put in a lot of work before this show, but I think what he has is still playing and bringing that expertise in studio.
Well, let's talk about transitioning. You've been on an island that's full of love, and that helped to project things forward for you, Ovi. But, of course, moving from a professional player into the media world, it's a journey.
It is a journey. It's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of hard work. But when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So, you know, I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy you guys.
Aww.
Well, that's what we like to hear. Well, it's time now to hand off to our commentators, Dan Routledge and Ant Rowan. I'm going to leave you with a question, though, fellas. How do the Riders get back into this game?
I don't answer questions. I pass them on to Ant Rowe. That's what I do. How do the Riders get back in? They need some offense and some defense, Ant.
They need a lot more defense, Dan, is where I'm looking. You know, this is a team second worst in points conceded. They concede 89 points per game. They're playing against the most prolific offensive scoring team of the London Lions. They have to tighten things up. We've seen there a number of defensive breakdowns against very, very talented players. They have to fix up on the defensive end.
Well, one guy who knows better than either of us is Rob Paternostro, and he caught up with Drew at halftime. Well, apologies for that. We'll try and sort that out, but Leicester with plenty of work to do here, down by 16. Mo Walker faking the three. And you can see Mackenzie trying to use his body to put Sharma. Sharma just looked to come up hobbling a little bit there. Morgan, transition three, front iron.
Well, just on the defensive side of things as well, the Leicester Riders. I mean, Rob Paternostro did say the reasoning for the three players exiting the team is because of an attitude and a commitment to winning. And you know, when you look at the silverware and the championship seasons that Leicester Riders had, it's always been a defensive DNA. You know, regardless of the offensive talent, the treble we won back in 2013, we were the best defensive team in the league, and it sort of had that trend throughout. So I think those are the sort of things Coach Paternostro was alluding to. Yes, he has a very talented group that can score the ball, but they're second in the league in scoring, remember, and they find themselves 7-7 with a 7-7 record. So scoring doesn't win you games all the time.
Holmes fires up the three and knocks it down. They need some scoring now. Was that a little humble brag there? the treble that we won in 2013, was that just a...
I'm just telling it how it is, Dan.
Well, it was all true. It was all true. Lobbed up to Sharma, and Walker bumped him out of the way for the foul. That's going to be number 3 on Walker. He joins Holmes on that number.
Yeah, I don't mind that, and I'd probably do the same. It's either that or another top 10 play highlight from Josh Sharma. But where Mo Walker's got to be careful now. He doesn't want to pick up a fourth early in this third quarter.
Sharma from the elbow knocks it down.
Sharma's had a good game as well. You see him impact the floor, both ends of the floor, excuse me, and he's quietly went about his business as well.
Well, he's in the starting lineup for the second half, and he wasn't at the beginning of the game, which tells you a little bit about what he's done, and maybe a little bit about what Gabe Oluseni has done as well. Quealy, that's too easy. We talked about defense. There wasn't really any there.
No, nothing. And good sign for Quealy. That takes him to 9 points personal. He's coming off the back as well of a 13-point game in the loss against Newcastle Eagles, where there wasn't much to celebrate for the Lions in that encounter, but an active, positive-looking Quealy was one of those bright sparks. And tonight, he's showing us a little something into what his potential is this year.
Smart foul there on Taylor. 10 points off turnovers for the Lions so far. Taylor fouling while it was on the floor. So it's a Leicester ball from the end instead of free throws. They've got that mismatch again. Not much time to work with though. Thomas blocked, and it forces a 24-second violation. You can see Sharma coming over for the help, lining him up to swipe it away.
Goodness me, perfect timing. To be fair, Thomas had no other option but to shoot the ball, and Josh Sharma knew that. Intelligent play there. Josh Sharma gets another block.
Well, that is why he leads the league in block shots. Here's Quealy. Oh, they backed away from him. He fires up the three. It's way off the mark. Sharma bats it out all the way to Taylor. Taylor creates a little space, doesn't get the roll.
Oh, Jordan Taylor, we've seen him make those shots. He's very crafty at creating for his teammates, but he can also create for himself.
Lowell trying to force his way down the lane. Morgan pushing. Going again. Blocked! Lowell with the rejection this time.
Wow.
Holmes running the floor, gets the jam. Defense to offense for Leicester.
And they just haven't been able to do enough of that, but that was an excellent play, which gets Jaron Holmes a breakaway dunk.
And there's a guy who needs to see the ball go through the hoop a few times, Jaron Holmes. But Lowell doing the job defensively. Morgan thought he had a layup, got denied by Lowell.
That very rarely happens as well. Matt Morgan's got a deceptive ability to score around the rim because he's not overly tall for a guard, he's not overly athletic, but very crafty in that he can create space for himself and getting the shot off, but not on that occasion. Lowell was equal to it.
Quealy drawing the foul, not quite there in time for the block. He did get actually Morgan blocked by Asbury the last time they were here. I was sat on the baseline, had a close-up view of that one. And Quealy will go to the free throw line, looking to add to his tally, try and get himself into double figures.
I remember that game, Dan, you sitting there front row looking like royalty on a rare night off of the British Basketball League.
You know, I spend so much time commentating on basketball. Every now and then I have to treat my wife and take her out to a basketball game.
She knew what she was married into.
She knew what she married into. To be fair, we were close to the action. She was a little worried we were a bit too close to the action, but it was an interesting angle to listen to, certainly, as Quealy makes the second of 2 free throws.
And that'll take him to 10 points personal and a strong showing from him so far today.
Holmes. He's got Sharma in front of him, goes back to Thomas with the head fake. Holmes is open in the corner, and he knocks down the 3.
A big one there from Jaron Holmes, and you called it down as a guy that needed to see the ball drop through the hoop. That's 8 points personal now for him, just like that. So he's a player that can put points on the board in a hurry.
Oh, clumsy one there. I think it's going to go against Thomas. It is the number 3 that's shown to the table. Oh, he's already had a better first half than second half than he did the first. Holmes.
Well, he's a prime example of a rookie being able to transition into the pro game.
Offensive foul called off the ball. Thomas was on the floor. I'm assuming that Morgan must have helped him there because the foul's gone against the number 9.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again. I mean, all I saw was Marvin Thomas fly across the floor there. Oh,
maybe
goodness.
it was Morgan that was the other Morgan that was the offender there on the screen, Matt Morgan.
Yeah, he seemed to move into that screen, didn't he?
Holmes back out to Adowu, sets his feet for 3. That's off the mark. He's had a couple of good looks from 3-point range. He's not knocked down. Taylor kicks to Matt Morgan, resets for 3. Off the mark. Holmes with the rebound.
Riders have got an opportunity here, down 15.
Adowu with the rebound. I guess the thing is that for London, it's felt so comfortable to this point. And Leicester have stolen the ball right back. Here's Washington, that actually you get sort of lulled into not quite being at the level.
No, agreed. Complacency sets in. And of course, you've got a Leicester Riders team too going into this half. Nothing to lose mentality. They're playing against the best team. Nice pass inside. And we will want that one back.
You've got a slap across the wrist from Sharma, so he will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. Wow. Leicester have it down to 13. Can they get any closer? We're going to take a quick break, find out after this.
One, two. Yes. Yep. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Coming live courtside.
Welcome back to the Morningside Arena, where Josh Sharma's fouled just before that timeout has sent Sam Adowu to the free throw line to try and get this down to only 11. London have led by as many as 19. It's felt pretty comfortable, but have Leicester got a little bit of the wind in their sails here? They've certainly chipped it away. And he makes both from the foul line.
And I think that will be the message that Coach Bojic would have delivered to his Lions team in that timeout as well, as this game is not over. Need his team to remain focused, and as you say, sometimes when you're up by 20, you've got that complacency and thinking the job's already done.
Particularly against a short-handed team with a little bit of foul trouble, but Phillip is able to get 2.
Wow, that's a big bucket as well. You see him go to that left hand and be able to shoot the ball high, soft off the glass to evade the shot blockers there contesting.
Holmes into the key, and he replies.
Well, that's a fearless mentality going straight at Sharma there. And Jordan Holmes seems to be in a pretty good place now on the offensive end of the floor.
Phillip just sort of bobbled it for a second. Here's Sharma. 6 on the shot clock. It's inside to Decker, who has the size mismatch. That's the difficulty when you're trying to guard Sam Decker. He's got the speed and athleticism that you want to put a smaller guy in him, but he's got the size that he can take him inside. Here's Washington for 3, rattles out.
No, you're right. It's a matchup nightmare, and ask anyone last year who guarded him in the British Basketball League and they'll tell you it was very difficult to stop with Sam Decker.
Well, all comes up with the loose ball. Holmes up in the air. Morgan did well there.
He did excellent. It was 3-on-1. And Riders come up empty.
And that's going to go against Thomas for the offensive foul. The stand taken by Philip. Drew Lasker is courtside. Drew, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Dan. Well, at 7 years old, I had dreams of making it to the NBA, sadly. But London Lions' Sam Decker made that dream a reality after getting drafted by the Houston Rockets in 2015 with the 18th pick. And remember when LeBron James left to the Los Angeles Lakers as a free agent in 2018? Well, Sam Decker was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, part of that rebuilding crew there post-Light after the King. After doing a couple of years in the NBA, he migrated over to Europe, where he bounced around a couple of countries, finally finding a home in London last year. Loved it so much, he inked a 3-year deal this offseason and says, not only is London a great place to raise his young family, but also it's an organization that allows you to be yourself.
Thank you very much, Drew. Great tale, but you could hear the pain in Drew's voice at the top, particularly when he mentioned Houston as well. I'm sure that would have been his preferred destination in the NBA as well.
Well, right on cue too, while we were getting that dialogue there, Sam Decker scores another 2 points to take his personal to 13.
Olaseni, who started on the bench here in the second half, comes in, gets his first points of the game off the glass. Holmes. Nice feed. Russell cutting back door, lays it in.
Oh, great take there from Russell, and they'll want to get him acclimatized as quickly as possible. I mean, he's a guy that scored big numbers in college, played NCAA Division II, Florida Tech, 18.9 points per game and 7 assists. So he's a player that could really contribute to this Leicester Riders offense. All the while, don't forget Dante Grantham. Just when everyone else starts shining, Grantham will pop out and make a play. 11 points now for Grantham.
Washington off the mark for 3. We were just wondering, was the comeback on for Leicester? London seemingly taking it away here with some good ball movement, although that pass a little ambitious for Olaseni to grab hold of. Holmes. Runs off the back of the iron. Away comes Decker. Big screen from Olaseni. But again, they're not on the same wavelength there. Decker and Olaseni.
No, and I mean, if you're London Lions, these are turnovers you can afford because you're up 17.
Just on that replay, I think he got a flop warning for running into a big screen there. It's a bit harsh.
It is harsh.
I mean, it's not a foul either way, but there's definitely contact. He's knocked into the ground. It's just a good screen. Well, last offense here of the third quarter. London, with the shot clock off, can dribble it right down. Foul called off the ball, and it's going to go against Gabe Olaseni, I think. Bojic can't believe it. Washington ended up on the floor. He is a pest defensively. You can see there's on the switch. And then, well, Washington hitting the deck, and the referee penalising Gabe Olasheni, and that'll be his 4th personal foul. London winning the bench battle, as they do almost every week. They lead the league in bench points. Nice pass, and Adowu is able to beat the buzzer, while London still looking comfortable at the end of 3. Is there a 4th quarter comeback in this or not? Find out after this break. Welcome back to Leicester. Rob Paternostro and his Riders trailing by 13, going into the 4th quarter here against the London Lions. They will get the opening possession of this period. Russell for 3, knocks it down.
Wow, good signs here from Russell for the Leicester Riders. Of course, he's their new player. He's only played, this is only his 2nd game. Again, a prolific scorer in college, just under 19 points a game, along with his 7 assists. So he could be the offensive injection this Rider team need this season.
Wow, he's up to 9 points now after that 3-point shot, but it's the confidence of it. You see, they ducked away, knocked it down. He had his career high in the British Basketball League, actually against the Lions, 11 points. He was actually playing for Loughborough. He was in the trophy, and Loughborough were in the trophy competition. He scored 11 against both Falkirk and London. London eventually beating them on their way to the final that year. Well, Leicester not going away, but we haven't seen enough to suggest they're going to get all the way back. Can they get a string of scores and a few stops in between? That's the question. Adowu turns the ball over. That won't help.
No, it wouldn't, and that's not really one of his strengths, to create for himself from the perimeter there.
Grantham trying to back down Russell, who's done a reasonable job there, but in the end the pass gets to Olasheni, who's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, it was significant size advantage there for Grantham, and was able to attract the other defender, Russell, which makes him out of position. You've got a 6'9" Gabe Olasheni under the rim. That's a recipe for disaster for the opposition.
Well, it's only his 2nd free throw of the game. I think he was 9 for 10 the first time these two teams met. It was a real handful for Leicester down low. And his repeated trips to the free throw line kept the scoreboard ticking at a point in that game where Leicester looked like they might get on top because London couldn't score a field goal. Nice pass. Adowu is blocked from behind by Grantham, gets his own rebound though. And Dooku's going to take the three, and he's going to knock it down.
Wow. Good persistence there from Samuel Adowu to stay with the play after getting blocked. And the young Victor Nduku.
Technical foul called against Nduku. Well, the flop warning I mentioned was given earlier on the screen against Holmes, so Nduku has been deemed to be flopping there, looking for a foul, basically. Oh, I never quite know. It's a slight grey area because there's definite contact.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're judging as to whether it's enough contact. And how do you know? I mean, Gabe Olesheni is a big, strong fella.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players around Europe that struggle to keep in front of him. Grantham shoots the technical free throw. And Nduku, I just don't know. I don't know what the difference between that is and it not being called.
Well, you see Nduku as well as a player. He's 6'8", but he's 20 years old, so he's a young British player. He's not really fully grown into his body yet in strength.
He's 10 years of weight room behind Olesheni, isn't he, really?
Yes. Riders still have a shot here.
It's not out of reach, is it? Here's McKenzie for three, and he gets it down to single figures.
Wow, just like that. Let's see if the Riders can create a little bit of tension here. I mean, Sam Dekker said at halftime, Riders like to slow the game down. That's what they've done. You know, both of these teams are accustomed to scoring over 90 points per game. So far, both teams are well below their averages.
Well, Olesheni just too big there. And too strong, he's able to finish.
Another ultimate professional, just someone that can turn it on. He's just coming off a 21-point game in the Euro Cup win midweek against Lithuanian side.
You can say Wolves. That's what they go by. You don't have to do the Vilnius events. Foul is called against Philip.
Safer option, Dan.
Yeah,
Safer option.
Yeah. Just not moving laterally quick enough there. Well, London come into this game having not lost to Leicester since the playoff final 2 seasons ago. That is a winning run of 7 consecutive games against the Riders. It's their best ever winning run against Leicester. They won 6 in a row between 2001 and 2003. But this is their best streak against Leicester, and they're looking to continue it, but Russell has other ideas.
Incredible. That hard right dribble and drag back creates enough space for him to get a shot off. And he knocks it down despite the contest.
Dekker back to Nelson, looking to get those 3 points back count. Nduku with the rebound. And Russell wants it. Now the Leicester try and turn it. Russell's going to pull up again, not this time. A little short, bit of a heat check there. And Nduku commits the foul on the rebound.
Yeah, I'm never a massive fan of that shot unless it goes in, which is a highly improbable, because it's such a difficult shot. Deep one contested.
Well, it didn't go in. Leicester have got it down to 8. Let's hear from Drew again.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, guys, this is uncharted territory for the Leicester Riders. I mean, we haven't seen them at 500 since about 2012. And at the beginning of the season, they went from an 11-deep squad and obviously subtract 3 players, and now their bench is very short. And I got a chance to catch up with GM Russell at the beginning of the game, and he said they're still on the hunt for one more player, but they're not going to rush it. They've had some players that kind of fall through the pipeline, but you know, the big question moving forward is how long will this team that you currently see be able to survive the British Basketball League schedule. Well, you see it, guys. There's no gimmies on the schedule. So how patient will these Leicester Riders fans be?
Well, that is the ultimate question there, isn't it? Because they are a little thin, as he says. And with Bowman as well, Bowman had been playing well earlier in the season, out injured and still not able to return. That hasn't helped matters. But what we have seen is Russell coming in, and he's hit some shots here tonight. He's got his best ever tally in the British Basketball League. And Dooku's given them some good minutes here tonight as well.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about some of the other players that can come back from injury. Blake Bowman, of course, has had a stellar start to this season, who's out injured.
Just dive in there, because Surrey are up 3 against Newcastle in that one. There's about a minute to go in that one. What a victory that would be for Lloyd Gardner and his team against a red-hot Newcastle side who've been flying up the table. And Surrey, well, there's something in the air up there, because they did it last year, if you remember. It was one of their rare wins last year, Surrey. They have looked like a team that is just about ready to start winning some games, but could they get that one done? We'll keep an eye on that and let you know. Here's Taylor getting to the rim, kicks it all the way out to Grantham, short, batted out by Olasheni. London come down with it. Taylor, extra ball movement, jammed in on the baseline by Grantham.
Offensive rebound, second chance opportunity, just killing Leicester Riders there, and Grantham with a jam.
Thomas, he's been plagued with foul trouble in this game. He's going to get a foul go his way this time, and a technical as well. Don't know if it was Coach Božić or somebody behind him, but the referee pointed to the bench to say that there was a technical as well. So it'll be 2 free throws for that and an extra free throw for the technical.
Wow.
Well, he doesn't get overly emotional. You don't see him go the highs and the lows too much, Božić. But he obviously wasn't happy with that.
Well, I don't know if it was him or the bench, because there seemed to be some animation behind him.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's gone against the coach. It's certainly attributed to him over the PA as the coach. That's to make the technical free throw and the front end of the 2 for Thomas here. Still only single figures. And he makes both of them. It's an 8-point game here with 5.5 minutes to go. Defense the cry from the home fans. Connor Morgan surveying his options, inside to Olasheni, and through the contact. That's not enough of a foul really there, Adowu. You've either got to foul him or let him score there. You can't let him do both, Ant.
No, he's just too good. Too strong, too big. But especially you want to get him off that right hand if you can. With everything you don't want Olasheni to do, he's just done there. And he's admiring his own work.
And he converts the 3-point play.
Wow. Mr. Team GB on Great British national team, and he's led over the last few years on some inspiring performances for his country.
Well, here's one of his teammates in Great Britain now, Kimball McKenzie. And he's going right at him, but Grantham somehow comes away with the ball. Matt Morgan in the open court. And you say he doesn't, when he gets the ball, he's hit the deck there. He's fallen over they're down to 4 players here. Connor Morgan trying to stop the game so that Matt Morgan can get back to his feet. Well, it's back out to a 13-point lead here. 4:41 left in the 4th quarter. Timeout call, we'll be right back. welcome back to Leicester, where the Riders, well, the fans are enjoying themselves. They're trying to get themselves out of a 13-point hole here. Here's Holmes trying to get 3 of them. Adowu with the offensive rebound. Adowu too strong off the glass. Not an easy shot that over Sharma.
No, and Samuel Adowu is one of those more experienced players as well. You'd want his shot selection to be a little bit better in that instance. He's got 10 points personal, but hasn't been able to light it up tonight.
Conor Morgan with a rare miss there from behind the arc today. McKenzie loses the ball, can't quite scramble it. Oh, it's fallen to him though. Thomas resets for 3 off the iron. Well, that was Conor Morgan's first miss of the game on the previous possession. Well, look at this. Lloyd Gardner and his team have won. They've beaten the Newcastle Eagles 93-88 on their own floor. Newcastle had won. Oh, it's Sharma with the two-handed throwdown. Newcastle had won 7 in a row if you count their European game as well. And that run has come to an end. A great victory for the Surrey Scorchers, which will do their confidence no end of good. Lowell, a little short. Into Morgan. Good ball movement. Grantham along the baseline. Pass is broken up.
Yeah, I thought it was the wrong decision there. Instead of trying to pass the ball inside to Sharma, he had his teammate Conor Morgan in the corner there for the open 3.
Well, Holmes probably would want that one back as well.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes has had a strong second half, 10 points personal, but it's been a tough shooting night for him. 4 for 15 from the field.
Taylor gets to the elbow, leaves that one short. Don't know if Law got a piece of it. It was a long way short. Holmes. Back out to Lowell. Matt Morgan with the rebound. Conor Morgan spinning baseline. Bumping Thomas out of the way for 2.
What patience. And that's where he's using his size and his body there over Thomas. You see that added pounds he has there to be able to bump the defender off, and an easy shot for him for 19 points personal for Conor Morgan.
Foul is called. And it will be 2 free throws. Conor Morgan will sit down, presumably, for the last time. An excellent performance for him, making 3s early on, but he showed down the last play there. He's more than happy to take it in the paint as well. An excellent performance all round from him.
Oh, he's been great, and I thought he was the pivotal piece of the puzzle too when London Lions were dominating the Riders in that second quarter. A stellar performance from him. He gets a well-earned break now while his team see out this game in the Morningside Arena.
It's been a good week for him, good few days with the excellent performance in Europe in midweek, and maybe even a better one today.
Well, certainly a more efficient one today. He had 22 points on Wednesday against the Lithuanian Wolves in Lithuania. And he carries on his good form here tonight. And again, his decision-making as well was excellent. When you cut up the things he did in this game, both ends of the floor, he made some very intelligent plays.
Good ball movement from the Lions. Nelson late in the shot clock. Lobs it up towards Schommer. Broken up by Thomas. Well, Leicester have kept going, as they always do. Thomas trying to get 3 points back, but they haven't had enough offense to keep with London. We talked about at the top of the show that number 1 and 2 this season in scoring. London have just about got to their average. Leicester a long way short of it.
Yeah, obviously Leicester need to get better as well on the defensive end, but offensively, you have to remember such a big chunk is missing from that offense. Yes, they're gaining some production from Seshan Russell, but when you combine Caleb Asprey, Xavier Pinson, and Braylon Bridges' points per game, it's a 28.7 points per game, so a big chunk there. And one guy that is not removed the equation is Connor Washington.
You get a few more minutes from Connor Washington as well, which is never a bad thing.
No, it's the addition by subtraction rule in that case, because Connor Washington has been excellent, and I think more often than his points, he's got 15 points this evening, but it's his fearless mentality.
Well, he never backs away, does he, Connor Washington? We've seen that over his career, and wow, just straight into the game and knocked down a 3 there. Young Wiley on his debut.
That's excellent. Whenever your younger British players gets an opportunity,
you catch the ball, you shoot it,
you
Seth.
shoot
You
it.
shoot it, Seth, and shoot it he did. And he's cut it down to 10 at the final buzzer, and London will just let time expire. Well, that second quarter was where Coach Božić and his team put their foot down and got away. Leicester threatened to come back in the second half, but never quite got close enough to really put London under pressure.
They got it within 8 in the fourth quarter, and you think, oh, here we go, there could be a run here, but then big players like Ola Shenny or Conor Morgan would make a play just to disintegrate any hope that the Riders had of getting back in this game. And there we go, player of the game, Conor Morgan, despite the Irish flag there, the Canadian international, put in an unbelievable performance today, and he was the catalyst in that second quarter dominance that the London Lions placed on this Leicester Riders team.
He holds 2 passports, Ants. He's allowed both flags. But yeah, an excellent performance, and he got in foul trouble early on. We forget that he could easily have sort of come out of the game after 3-4 minutes when he got that second foul and just lost his rhythm. But as soon as he stepped back on the court, he picked it right back up.
Well, this is the player they've recruited for that instance. They needed stability, they needed experience, and this is the guy that played in the ACB top league in Spain. This is a league renowned for being the best league in the world outside of the NBA. So Conor Morgan is someone who's played at an incredibly high standard, and you just see his professionalism and his ability to stay within a game even if it's not going his way at the start.
And from a Leicester, well, actually we can get some reaction now, because Conor Morgan is with Drew.
Connor, nice bounce back victory. Unpack that team performance for us.
Yeah, I mean, we came in here tonight knowing everybody was going to play. It was going to be balanced minutes, and I think everybody stepped up when they had to. They made a comeback there late in the game. We were able to hold it out, and we're happy with the win.
The last month, you've been playing out of your mind. Just named Euro Cup MVP yesterday. Describe to us what it feels like when you're in a zone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're in the zone, you're not thinking much, People think when you're kind of making a lot of shots that things are going really well, but, I've seen both sides of it. So I'm old enough to not get too excited. But at the same time, I'm happy. I'm happy that the shots are going in. That's what I practice. That's what I work on. But no, I can't say enough about this team we got. We all want to see each other succeed, and the sacrifices on this team that everybody's making. And right now, I won this one tonight, but I'm sure there'll be many others for many more people.
Well, we're enjoying the performances. Go celebrate. Congratulations on the win.
Have a good one.
Thank.
Well, thank you very much, Drew, for that. Conor Morgan is in the zone, the promised land, Azania.
Yeah, he's been playing fantastic, and obviously shooting 42% from the three-point line is always a great night if you can get above 40% for the Lions. But then also 14 turnovers, actually with 12 also, but from those 14 turnovers, London Lions had 14 points off of those turnovers.
Listen, shooting percentage is key as well, Ovi. 66% overall from the field, London. 35% overall, Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, the London Lions, they share the ball very well. And when you mix sharing the ball well with the talent level that they have, that's what you get. You know, guys are going to shoot a better percentage. They're going to create easy opportunities for each other. And yeah, that's going to lead to successful and a great style of basketball that I'm sure Coach Bozic is very, very happy with.